All right, mechanic life vlog number 420. It's been a nasty day and it's still not out. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. On this upload, I'm gonna show you guys how to take the power steering rack out of your like 98 to 2004 or 2003 Audi A6, S6, pretty much B5, B6, so I guess the year range is like vastly getting larger and larger here as we go. But the point of the matter here is the way that this steering rack comes out is basically the same as every Audi with a top mounted steering rack. By top mounted, I'm meaning specifically over and behind the engine. I don't know why Audi did this. That's just where it worked, happened to put it. It's almost like it was an afterthought a little bit. So let's dive in and let's get into steering rack removal things. Oh joy. This one, it's a glorified pain in the ass is what it comes down to. I think I can say ass. It depends on if it's like, anyway. This one is kind of a glorified PETA in the sense of it's a lot of little quarter turns, and we'll get into it more as we go. But for now, let's do it to it and get this thing out because I've only got 2 hours of video time on this card. So I got to get it done in 2 hours or less. That's the goal. Yeah, let's do it. So obviously you gotta take the tire off for this one. Nothing fancy or new there. Normally I would do this stuff all on the ground because that's just the nature, but you know what? We've upgraded in the world. We got this cool building, we got this cool lift. So just know if I had to, I would do this on the ground. It's not that difficult. You can do this on floor jacks. We just, you know, this thing, the Go rack here has been sitting dormant for 5 years. So, what does it take to do this? Well, first couple of things you're gonna wanna do here, guys, is you're gonna wanna get this tie rod end off and you're gonna wanna take your upper multi-link apart, which is pretty straightforward. Pop this bolt out here and then this will come out. On this side though, you're gonna wanna go ahead and loosen the 13 millimeter that's in the top of your tie rod end and then take out this nut here. Also, if you wanna go ahead and be proactive, you can go ahead and disconnect your inner and outer tie rod end lock nut from each other. It wouldn't be the best, I mean, it wouldn't be like the worst idea in the world. Like, at least it would already be done. You could kind of winsle things around. In this case, we're gonna be rebuilding this rack at the end of the day, so it's gotta go back together anyways. Yeah, we're gonna have to take the inner and the outer out. So, it is what it is. Might go ahead and take the inner and the outer out now. I don't know yet. I haven't got that far. Let me think about this as we continue on our little journey here. Oh, yeah. Let's put some stuff down. Let's get some of this out of the way, and we'll talk plenty as we go. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, there's your ABS and trigger, your ABS and your brake wear sensors are right here in the corner. These are gonna be in your way, just the harnesses. So we're just gonna go ahead, pop this little grommet out and winsle those out of the hole. We're just gonna disconnect them and then pull it out of its harness and slide it off to the side. That's more as a precautionary thing because we don't wanna screw it up. If you want, you can slide those back in the hole. They won't get lost, but like they might be a little bit of a pain later to get out. Either way it works, they'll be fine. We are gonna need a 10 millimeter to take that guy out, and then we're just gonna go ahead and leave the bag on the coilover for now. All right, so let's get this 10 mil out of here and get this cover out. I know I'm kind of like jumping all the way to the back here. A little excessive probably, but I like things out of my way while I work. So I think, no, it's not. There's just, in the back behind there, there is a little plastic tab behind the coilover. You guys probably can't see it. Trust me, it's back there. I've broken so many of them, but all right, that'll come out later. Probably should have waited. It is what it is. It's already out. And we're gonna go ahead and break the lock nut loose so we can take that tie rod end out. I have this really fancy set of, this is what I call my tie rod tool. In case you wanna know what it is, it's PWZ2. This is basically a set of snap-on channel locks, but they're extremely excessive. They just do the job really well, so keep using them. That said, you could probably just use a wrench that fits really well, but it doesn't ever work that way for me, so sometimes. We're gonna grab that little guy like so. loose? Yeah, there we go. She's loose. Okay. Shouldn't be really jam in there. Loosen that 13 right there. Now inside of that 13, there's like a H6 or an H8 that you can use and spin this guy around and line it up. And it also helps a lot for taking it loose. But we'll get into that in a second. First, let's go ahead and get a 17 now for, I think it's 15, 16, or 17, one of those three. And it takes all of these rest of the nuts off. Let's get that done. All right, somebody put that on way too tight. What in the bloody hell? Oops, wrong way. Wheel? Unfortunately, there's a bolt on the back side of here. You guys, let's see if we can get you a good eye on it here. You guys might be able to see it. There's a bolt right here on the back side. It looks kind of funky. It's kind of like a D shape. It's supposed to lock in the corner of this thing. Didn't lock in there. Oh no, don't drop it. Oh. Yeah, it's supposed to lock in the corner of there. Some point in time, it didn't get done the right way, and now it's over torqued and all hell is broken loose on it. So we're gonna have to go in with the extra special set of tools here and get some vice grips on this thing, hold it in place, torque that thing out of there. It's gonna be a kind of a piddly winkly one. So yeah, this ought to be interesting. Now that we got that out, let me give this a shake, take that guy out. All right, nothing wants to give, right? So there's a little trick. In the top of here, you can't really see it because I haven't moved the camera, but there's an Allen head. H10 in the top like so. And then you can just take a ratchet on there and you can get that bushing to usually come loose. And if you, it'll walk itself out of there. Change the video title, how to remove a tie rod end without destroying your knuckles. There you go. You don't have to booger it up too much to get off. These are definitely kind of toast, my ghost. These outers are fantastic. But those inners, yeah, these outers I just replaced. Oh, I don't know, probably 8 months ago or so. These are actually the 034 heavy duty outers that you can get in their kit that they offer, their suspension kit. This entire front suspension, now that we mentioned that. BC coilovers behind our ECS bags. Fun fact for you, BC does not sell a coilover bag for whatever reason. And then all the rest of these suspension bits are all 034 street density, along with their outer ends. I know it looks like shit, but it is a nice performance part, believe it or not. That gives us access to the rest of these little bits. We're gonna go ahead and take this boot off for now because we don't need it. And we're gonna go ahead, another strap back here in the back. Actually, in this one, it's already been zip tied. Let's go ahead and reach in there and cut that zip tie off. Now I can pull that boot off. Oh yeah, oh that's so yummy, look at that. That seals are waxed. Oh, that seal doesn't even exist. It's like, what seal? The seal is gone, non-existent. That's so awesome, fantastic. I guess, shit. So, what all do we need to take out here? Hey Juan, can I have your clean hands for a minute to take a coilover bag off? I'd rather get the coilover dirty than the bag dirty. I can wipe the coilover off. Stand in hands, please. Are you having fun with that bag, my friend?
They do feel nice.
They do, right? And behind door number 1, what do they have for him, Bob? Ah! It's like that scene where a chick rips off her blouse. All right. So back here is a couple different lines that we're gonna have to go ahead and remove. A couple of them are on the rack. You guys really can't see it. Some of them are right here. Very easy to see. So we'll probably adjust the camera. Let me clean my hands and then we'll touch things. Shit. How do I shut this thing off? All right, so let's talk internal guts here as best as we can all see it as we go. Oh, there we go. So what do we got in here? Basically what we got here is a few different things. Oh, shit. All right, so what we got here is a few different things. This is our pressure line going into our rack. That goes down underneath there. There's a line, like a banjo fitting that goes into that one. Right next to that is the return side that goes back up to our reservoir. That also has to get disconnected. Both of those are the same size nut. I think they're like 18s. But only one of them is gonna come out completely. This coiled one that's right here, that one will disconnect from this side, and then you can take it out of the way. And then the one behind it will just come straight down. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're probably gonna end up, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're probably gonna end up making a couple tools for this. I've made really, really stubby 18s to get in there. It's in my drawer of tools and wrenches and specialty bits here someplace. I'll have to find it. But, yeah, 19. There's one, half of it. Where's the other half? I don't know. Anyway, it's in there someplace. My point here is be ready to sacrifice wrenches. Know that this is not it's not difficult. It's just, you might have to sacrifice a thing or two to get it done. So.
Sounds difficult.
It's not difficult. Just get used to making custom tools.
That sounds difficult.
He's difficult. He works on his base model S2K. In the real world, we work on German shit boxes. You know, I do call him, I say his base model, you know, Japanese shit box.
Basically base model. All S2000s are base model, technically.
I mean, they are a Honda.
It's no joke, in the official designation, every S2000 is base model, because there were no trims. There was like different options, but in like every catalog, it's always, you know, S2000 2-liter base model.
Nice. Nice. All right, well, because Hero 10 batteries suck sometimes, we end up switching over to our little battery bank. Fun fact for you, if you buy one of these on Amazon, or eBay, don't buy the tri-fold ones. Yeah, it looks cool and all, but this joint and this is like kind of like shit. It wants to break, but works great for charging stuff like this. So we need to take this line off. I think it's like a 17 and a 15, I think. Let's find out here. Yeah, 15. Nope, definitely wrong. Let's try a 16. Is that any better? Nope, still wrong. All right, 17 and 19, or 17 and 18 then. 17, 18, and 19. 19, check. 17 probably. Yeah, money. All right. Make sure you hold the inside. If you don't hold the inside line, like, you're gonna just twist this thing off and break it, and you're gonna have a really bad day. So don't do that. Just, oh, these are gonna give you a bad day in general. They're rusty. Great. All right. All right. Well, good thing we're replacing them, I guess. Let's see if we can get the inside off. This should. I say should. My luck, it's probably not gonna go well. This car has been, everything that's been old that I've tried to take off is not one to come off easily. Where's that custom 19 wrench? Here we go. Custom. And it's not fitting. All right. Yeah, cracker. All right, back to our long reach quarter turns. There we go. All right, this is gonna take me a little bit. I'm gonna shut the GoPro off because I'm not gonna waste like time on the battery. Yeah, that's shit. Anyway, we'll come right back.
20 minutes later.
Yummy. I have no idea where it went. All right, There's the other line somewhere in that hole. Yeah, there we go. There's our other line. Oh, look, there's a fitting in the bottom of that. Oop, nope, there we go. Hold up. All right, now we got both these lines loose. We can jump over to the other side of the car and basically take all this crap again apart. Then we need to open up the car, get inside, take the rack loose, and we can pretty much, for that point, like, unbolt all this. We got to take 3 bolts out of the top under the hood, and this whole thing will just slide out of the car. All right, let's shut this off and get... Let's start with taking out the 13 again on this side, and we're just basically gonna break everything down nice, sweet, and super fast here, and just get it apart. All right, first things first, let's get that nut off. Definitely wouldn't try to break this nut loose with a crescent wrench though. More likely to round the thing off. At least get some sort of like proper thing. Let's break the top here loose. Oh, that was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There's that. Jammed up boot. Oh my gosh, look at all the anti-seize. My hands are silver. We got silver hands. Well, that one came out pretty easy. Yay. Same trick as last time. Put our tie rod in. Let's put that 10 mil in the top. Ratchet it down. Now you can go forward or backwards in this. It doesn't matter. Both ways we'll rotate it and get it out. Boom. This side we have the same sensor. It's right back here in this cubby. Pop that guy out of there. About to winsel him out. There are your 2 brake wear sensor, your brake wear and your ABS. Once again, we're gonna disconnect those just to kind of get them out of the way and to disconnect it from that cover. You need another 10 mil again to get that guy off right there. That's pretty straightforward. And this tie rod end was giving us some trouble. We'll end up just dealing with it on the ground probably. It's not the end of the world. It's just being a punk. Maybe. We might try to take it out right now. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let's get this cover out. Toss that plastic cover off to the side for now. And yeah, let's see what we got here. Maybe we can get that loose. It says 17 on the inside. All right, well, either way it works. Inside you ended up being an 18. Outside nut was 22 millimeter. Now we can just back that off. Now, normally I would say count your, rotations on this, but it's not gonna matter for our case because this thing's getting entirely rebuilt. So it's gonna have to get on a line no matter what. Take our tie rod end off on this side.
Day 2.
It's a new day. And yesterday we got the front end taken apart. We got bits and pieces of it. It was like 11 o'clock at night and I was recording something that I just needed to get done. So today's a new day. We got a new round of energy and yeah, now we get to do the fun little bits of this puzzle to get this rack out. The reality is we're almost out, and in the next upload that we do after this one, well, I'll end up going over all the nuances of actually how to rebuild the rack. And then we'll probably go into like the actual reinstalling of the rack itself, but not in this upload. This one is solely about removal. So that's like 2/3 of the battle here alone. Underneath of there in your C5 is a single bolt. That bolt holds the steering column to the actual rack and it goes through this like U-joint little thing. It's one bolt. It's like a T40 or T45. It's kind of a glorified pain in the butt, honestly, especially when you have your car and the thing you're working on a rack. Now, if you were on the ground, this would be a lot simpler, solely for the reason of you don't have these giant pillars in your way. and you can just swing the door open, lean underneath there, take 4 bolts out and get to the rack. Well, in this case, not gonna be that simple. I'm gonna hang upside down on my head, pretend I'm a monkey, and we'll get it out. What do you gotta do to get to it though? The bolt is up behind that cover right there, which is really very, very well lit, as you can tell. In order to actually get to the bolt itself, you gotta take a couple other things off. Specifically, we gotta take some paneling off. The panel that we gotta take off is this one right here. It's called the knee board, or the knee lower bolster, kick panel. It's got it has a lot of different names to it. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 8mm bolts holding it in. I'm gonna show you real quick where they're at, and then we're just gonna set the camera up and I'm gonna get them out. There's not a lot more to it than that. So, your first bolt is back here in this corner. Once again, it's gonna be a little difficult to see. I don't got the light on this. You're gonna have 2 behind this panel that just pulls right up and off. There's one that goes there and one that goes there, both of which are missing. That's hilarious. All right. And finally, if you guys can see this, if not, in the post, I'll probably put a spotlight. All right, let's try this again. So right in that hole right there, there's a bolt. Same thing over here. So I guess there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 in there. Like I said, it's not immensely difficult. It's only difficult for me, not for you, unless you're hypothetically doing this on a rack also. So let's get to it. All right, now that we got that giant chunk of panel out of the way, you can see this column right there. So this is the actual steering column, this bit right here. The bolt that we need to take out is right up there on the top. A couple things to note here real quick. When you're taking your steering column and disconnecting it, first off, don't be like hyper inflated or concerned about the steering wheel moving. Yes, be some concerned, but like, don't flick it left and right because you're gonna screw up your clock spring. That's thing number 1. You can lock the column in place if you take the keys out of the ignition and set it on center. That's gonna help you keep it on center. What else is there? But like, it's okay if it moves a little bit, is all I'm getting at here. Third thing is, this is that point where you should probably pay attention to what you're doing. Because, well, you should have been paying attention the whole time, but here nor there. There really is no third. I was just ranting, I guess, because don't flick the steering wheel around. It's okay if it moves it. Take the keys out to lock the ignition to keep it on center. I think that's everything. All right, let's get out. All right. All right, let's see if we can get this thing out. So I got the bolt out, and before I went off and like take it completely out, I just wanted to show you guys here real quick. I kind of forgot about this. These have a cam lobe in the side of them. So you definitely don't go after the nut side, like the torque side of things. I'll have to go back and edit it, my response from earlier, but what I'll basically interject here, and we can just cut this piece of the puzzle in, is you want to go after the nut on the other end. The nut is a 16mm nut, and you want to get it off first. Once you get it off, then you can go back in and you can adjust this little, like, the T50 Torx that's here, and get this cam lobe lined up, and it'll just slide right out, like no problems whatsoever. I don't know why I forgot that, but you know what? That's the life of being like working on a bunch of Volkswagen products. You know, I stay within the family and I keep it inside the family and all, but every once in a while, you know, you get one of those ones like, hey, I learned a new trick. Can I show it to you? And that's what happened basically. So, Once you get this little bolt out, get a light that wants to stay functional for you. It's pretty straightforward at this point. Your shaft here. Should pull off, sort of. And you just shove that guy up in there like that. Don't worry about it falling out, anything else on the hindsight. Also, it's keyed, so it's only gonna go one direction. Your lock's only gonna go one direction. Everyone's only gonna go one direction. And we'll be good. So at this point in time, definitely pull your keys out, lock your column in place. That's gonna keep your steering wheel fairly close to straight. And we move on to the next problem. After I get a battery in this thing, because it's like at 12% and it's a Hero 10, it's gonna die. So, next step, we're gonna get under the hood. Wow, this thing gets hot. All right. All right. Oh, is that a picture? No. Oh, it's just letting me know the clip number. All right, so in Jack's world, this just recently happened. Yeah, that happened. This is happening. And we're getting ready to take the rack out. So, next, like air quotes, procedural step in this whole mix is you gotta disconnect the battery, and we need to get to the last 3 bolts that hold the rack actually in the car. Now, one bolt is right down in that abyss. It is going to be a inverted Torx, I think. I think it's like a T40 inverted or something like that. Hold on, let's get a battery so you guys can see what we're talking about. Sorry, I lie. That one is not an inverted Torx. That is a 12-point 10 mil is what that is down there. The other one is underneath of the battery box itself. It's in the back side of it, which means we gotta take the battery out. So, pretty straightforward. Take the battery out, disconnect your positive, your negative, take your 13mm, the battery in, and pick up 10-ton testing. Careful of your cowl. Oh. One bolt's right here. Where is that bolt? Oh, look at all the power steering fluid. It's so yummy. All right. It's up there someplace. Yeah, I gotta remember how to get to this thing. There's kind of a quirky nuance, I'm sure, to it. And it's been just long enough that I don't really remember how to do it. So, you're gonna put you down, figure out how it is, learn the headache that I forgot about, and then we'll come back and explain it. All right, well, I figured out why I couldn't figure it out and show it in the moment. That's because y'all will barely see this, but it is all the way up there. There's a heat shield kind of in the way. Maybe we can touch it. It's up there, and yeah, I think this is gonna be one of those stack 3 extensions, then set the socket on top of it, then shove it up in the hole, and cross your fingers that you don't strip anything out. So, let's get done. Friend on over. All right, the level of shit that's required to get one single bolt out. One arm in, one guy under, one guy on the light. Most important man of this hour here. I think. Did that do it? No! All right, mechanic life vlog number 420. It's been a nasty day, and it's still not out. I'm doing something wrong. Check back in after I figure out what I did wrong, because I'm not doing it right. All right, well, after lots and lots of headaches, greasy hand washes, friends helping out, and some very strategically long and very well-placed 12-point half-inch ratchet extensions, boom, it's sort of out. So the only thing we gotta do now is disconnect this plug, which goes to the servomatic on the thing. Basically the servomatic is steering assist from early 2000. That's just it. So let's move some lines. We should just be able to rotate this sucker. Come on, girl. Oh, you got caught on a heat shield. Pretty typical. Ha. All right. There you go. There you go. All right, well, there is our steering rack completely out of the car. So the goal here, the problem with this one is it's leaking from the seals on this end and the seals on this end. And just like anything this is just my way of looking at life in general and parts and old shit and making things like nice again, is somebody had to build it, which means there are seals and parts that I can purchase somewhere in this world. So I've done steering rack repairs before in the past, and it's, be real, it's been about 10 years ago since I've done the last one of these, and I'm pretty sure it was on a B5S4 many, many moons ago. For whatever reason, I rebuilt it. Here nor there. Like I said, this is kind of a glorified pain in the butt, but we are gonna do it. Not gonna do it in this upload. This upload was all about how to get this very odd, unique piece out of that hole. So, guys, I hope you were able to get the job done. If you were, smash that like button. Make sure to click subscribe if you happen to have one of these old racks and you want to know how to rebuild it, because it is actually 2050 and not 2023 anymore, and parts are no longer available. So, if that's the answer to your question, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. I'll see you in the next one, and peace. I'm Audi.